All right, I'm going to have a go at the Guardian's Cryptic Crossword for Monday, February 26th. It is set by Vulcan. Playing a little bit later than usual, and I'm a little sleep deprived, so I feel like I'm not as sharp as usual. I just had a terrible redactyl, so let's hope I can do a little better with this crossword. Heat of conflict, a short month. Ooh, so I'm thinking it's going to be something meaning heat. Oh, well, of course, the obvious synonym is warmth. And I can see we have conflict as war, and a short month could be MTH. I was thinking it was going to be a specific month, abbreviated, but that is a good start. Let's try our 5 down. I don't like this grid where you don't really have anything around the outside, just one's jutting out into the exterior. But anyway, sure, you need a bit of variety, I suppose. Stupid and awkward, like Pinocchio. I can only think of wooden, which would describe Pinocchio before he becomes a real boy, and that's certainly awkward would be wooden. Stupid and awkward. I don't know why we need both. I suppose we'll see from the crossing letters if that is right. Now, a jam when tennis player keeps bouncing the ball. I'm trying to think about in tennis when you bounce the ball before you serve, if there's a name for that, or a shot where you bounce as opposed to hitting it on the volley. What do you call it where it bounces? But then I'm also thinking of, uh, um, I was thinking of dribbling, but that's too long. Um, a jam, could it be a and then a word for jam? And then we maybe have the name of a tennis player. Keeps bouncing, and then could it be a ball as in a party, a dance, a ball? Not sure. Laurels recited, a few lines of verse. I'm thinking it's going to be a word for a little portion of poetry. Oh, yes. So I was thinking laurel as in the plant and something like a wreath, but I think it's Stan Laurel. And if Stan is recited, it sounds, or stands, I should say, it sounds like stands with a Z. And then A is A, and then few lines of verse is a stanza. That's pretty straightforward. Working on self-confidence, finally failing, a sickener. So working on, working on could be anagramming on, which of course there's only one anagram, NO, and then maybe a word for self-confidence that is missing its last letter, and it means a sickener. Well, sports, that's like a bad loss, but maybe it is something literally that makes you sick. A virus, no, I'm not getting it. What would self confidence be? No, we're going to have to come back to that. All right, let's head over here. One highly strung, in horrid pub we may hear. So it has to be a homophone for words that mean horrid pub, I think. And it's going to mean one highly strung, which could be a punning definition as opposed to someone who is nervous, highly strung. You know, what I suppose a decoration or I don't know, someone who's being hung. It's a horrid pub, something like a bad bar, um, sordid in, something bar. One highly strung, isobar. No, not seeing it. Exits to this great place. I presume it's a double definition. Maybe it's the name of a great place, but it's reads like exits, something doors. Oh, the great outdoors, of course. Outdoors would be exits, and I think that's why there's the question mark, maybe, because outdoors are exits in a very punning way, and then also that it's a great place, great outdoors. Yeah, I like that. Produce or produce, baby animal. I'm thinking it might be produce a baby, and then also it's the name of an animal. And I can think of bear as in bear children and a bear. So now we'd have two R's in this. A jam. Of course, it might not be fruit type jam. It could be just things stuffed in or traffic. No, not seeing it. Fantastic maid gets share of appreciation. Oh, that's a tricky one, beginning with A. I'd wonder if it is yeah, from mythology, maybe. Excuse me, a fantastic. But then share of appreciation. Aphrodite. No, not seeing it. Keep going forward. In London, for example. Keeping, or sorry, keeping. So I wonder if it is a word that means keeping, like retention, and somehow then it means going forward in London. I mean, could it end in city, as in velocity, keeping? No. Said the word marked. I think this might be a double definition. Said the word, like if you tell someone say the word, so something like approved or gave the go-ahead, and it also means marked, which could be you put a mark on it, or you graded somebody's test. Nope. Kitchen appliance from Coventry. So this seems like very straightforward hidden clue, and an oven is hidden in Coventry. That's nice if that is true. rather messy Matt whose. I think messy might indicate an anagram, and Matt whose has 8 letters, so it would mean rather. And then I wonder if there's a bit of and lit as well for the definition, and that it might actually be someone who would have a messy mat. Maybe not, maybe it's just straightforward. They just put in the question mark for the surface reading. Let me pause and see if I can work out Matt whose. Oh boy, that was a tricky one to spot. I kept trying to put the T and the H together, but then I spotted somewhat, which would mean rather, somewhat messy, rather messy. All right, so that's helpful. An old truth about Mike's flat. So Mike is the NATO phonetic alphabet for M. So I presume it's a word for old truth or an old truth, and you put an M inside it, and you get flat, which could be flat as in even, or flat as in an apartment. What would an old truth be? Could it be literally AN and maybe O for old? I don't think it's truism, but I know Mike's flat. No, I have to come back to that. Shaken tinsel, thus inaudible. Oh, well, that's, I think, another simple one. Anagram of tinsel is silent. The thus seems a little unnecessary. Shaken tinsel inaudible, I suppose, would mean the same thing. Let me finish the across before we go back to the downs. One pinning name tag on animal. I presume it's going to be just like the bear. It's going to be the name of an animal, but it might also suggest one pinning a name tag. Labeler, namer, tagger, liger. No, not seeing it. All right. From long ago, famous ostrich eye slaughtered would seem to be an anagram. Long ago, historic. So yeah, that was an easier than somewhat. Anyway, oops. Historic, good. Does that help my one highly strung in horrid pub we may hear? No, not really. All right. Everything extremely audible, not quite. Ooh, so extremely audible could be the A and the E of audible. Of course, that could be for everything as well, the E and the G, everything extremely. And then audible, and then the meaning, I suppose, is not going to be, is going to be the opposite of audible, I think. So I might go with our silent. Everything, of course, could be all, but then it would be ALL, O. Allowed, not quite. No. One can be intolerant if one is so minded. So-minded, intolerant. Yeah, I think this is one where you have to just get the answer almost through induction. And it's just not coming to me. Give information about one pet in cooperative. I think it's going to be a cooperative or an adjective meaning cooperative. Considerate, I think, fits. But we have to have one pet. Let me put in considerate, which isn't really, is it cooperative? No, probably not. And what would give information, I think, has to go around one and then a pet, which could be a cat. What to give information? Jen. No, not seeing it. Let's get rid of these. Yeah, let's wait and get some more letters for that. Getting in contact may be concerning. All right, we have two ing words in the definition, or the clue, I should say, so fairly sure this is going to be an ing. Could be sh, th, ch, could be tch. Getting in contact, touching, I think, maybe. Yeah, I think if something touches on a certain subject, it's concerning that. And of course, also literally getting in contact, someone could be touching them. Ooh, this does look like might be city. Keeping going forward. Something like momentum, inertia. In London, or maybe city goes around it and there just happens to be another C here. Well, this then would be a T. Comprehensive, even if approximate or approximate. I presume it's going to mean comprehensive, thorough. Yes, because THO as a short word can mean even if, like short for although, and then rough is approximate, and then you get thorough. I needed that. All right, so then city is looking good. Soldiers need time picking up the scent. I wonder if it could be. I was thinking of odors, but that's going to be plural. Yeah, so it ends in S, so maybe it is the definition is soldiers, and it's going to be a word for time picking up the scent. Yeah, I'm not. What would soldiers be? Troops? Oh. Yeah, so time. So soldiers need, or to get soldiers, you have to have a T for time, and then a spoor is an animal scent, and that is picked up or reversed. Alrighty. punter sticking to soft drinks with alcohol all around. Alcohol all around. Oh, I am thinking of a better is a punter, someone who places bets. And someone, yeah, sticking to soft drinks would be teetotal, and it has beer all around it. It may point to hostile rivalry. It may point, maybe that's the definition, to hostile. It's not a hidden clue, as far as I can tell. No. It may point. No. Create apprehension, having to remove blossom. No. All right. Now our old truth about Mike's flat. So is it a word for flat? Yeah. An old truth about Mike's. If it is about M with an M inside it, I think that would have to come here. Oh, flat could be smooth. Oops. Even starting in the right square. An old truth. I think this sooth. Oh, yeah, as in a soothsayer about Mike M. I think, yeah, that must be what a sooth is. Oh, and of course, forsooth. I need to look up the derivation of the word, but I'm fairly confident in that. Now, this does have create apprehension. Having to remove blossom, could it be a DES word? To remove a blossom. Deadhead. I'm not sure. Ooh, okay, this one actually has now a G and an R. One pinning name tag on animal. It could be, though, the definition one pinning. So, for example, a wrestler pins people. Who else pins? Chess pieces pins. And it's made from a name tag. Ooh, which could be an ID, maybe, on an animal. What would the animal be? A gar. Not seeing anything else. All right, so this I thought was a double definition. Said the word. Marked. Nope. And this one, no, we still just have the E and the L. My fantastic maid now gets share of. I'm wondering if it's literally a share of the word appreciation, but that seems a little unlikely. It can simply be taking some letters in order because the R is too far down. There's nothing that suggests anagramming. It's share. Yeah, I think it's more likely to be a word for share followed by a word for appreciation. Wow, tricky. All right, let me pause and sip my coffee and think about this. All right, I was looking at 12 and trying to think of fantastic maids, but then I realized, oh, wait a minute, fantastic can be for an anagram, and maybe we mix up maid, and then a share can be a ration, and when I put those things together, I got admiration. All right, that was a lot of work to get that little one. Everything extremely audible, not quite. Everything extremely audible. Oh, not quite could be almost. But how is that? Unless it's a homophone for everything extremely would be ALL, excuse me, all with two L's. But because it's just a homophone, we can spell it with one L. Is that right? And then, but most is not really a homophone. So that seems cheating a little bit if I'm reading that correctly, which I have a history of not reading them correctly. All right, one highly strung in horrid pub. Oh, a violin is highly strung. And that sounds like a vile in. I'm sure on 15 squared you'll see people complaining about that homophone because violin has two syllables and violin has three. But anyway, what can you do? All right, one can be intolerant if one is so minded. Well, it has to be narrow. So I think that's just a simple, somewhat cryptic definition, but I don't know about that one. One can be intolerant if one is so minded. I know there is that phrase, if you're so minded, you can do this, but I don't know. I don't like that one. Anyway, give information about one pet in cooperative. Cooperative. Communicative. Oh, do we have enough room for this? Or just maybe communicate. Sorry, cooperative is I have it the wrong way around, as again I often do. A cooperative can be a commune, and we have one cat inside of it, all right? Now, keep going forward. Keeping, I keep reading that wrong. Keeping, which I think must be the definition, and then going forward in London, for example. I think it has to be ICITY. But what is it keeping going forward? No, I think I'm going to go ahead and reveal this one. Pertinacity. Okay. I think maybe pertinacity is keeping going. Someone who keeps going has pertinacity, and forward might be pert in a city, London, for example. Not sure how I feel about that one either. All right, now are a jam when tennis player keeps bouncing the ball. Ah, yes, so this is a clever little double definition. A jam is a preserve, and a tennis player, I mentioned it earlier, is bouncing the ball before they serve, pre-serve. All right. Ooh, so then I think this must be poison as a sickener. Self-confidence, I think, is poise, and it finally fails, so poise without the E. And working, which is often the word on, is put on that, so it's confusing. I'll put on that, but I'm pretty sure that's right. I'm not even going to bother checking it. That's how confident I am. Now, oh, so now I don't know why I suddenly see this where I didn't see it before, but if you said something, you pronounced it, and a marked difference is a pronounced difference. So now a needle may point in a compass, and to needle to somebody, I suppose, your hostile rivalry. Now, create apprehension. Oh, I did think it might be D, but what is blossom? D, no, not getting it. And this one pinning. Ooh, so I'm just thinking about pinning pegs or a hanger. Pegger or hanger? Let's try a hanger, like clothes hanger. Let's check it. No. All right. I don't know what the name tag on animal. Oh, a badge would be a name tag, of course. Think of Dame Edna and the badge Madge. Um, so one pinning name tag could be a badger like Madge and an animal. Yeah, badger is an animal. All right, create apprehension. Having to remove blossom. Um, Maybe I'm confusing plant botany. Maybe it's pistil, but is there a distal? I could be completely wrong. Let's check it. I am. Create apprehension. Dismal, but disde, D-I-S-E-D, deceive, decede. No, I'm going to reveal it. Dismay. Ah, having to remove blossom. No, I'm going to have to rely on 15 squared to explain that. Let me go ahead and check all. All right, everything else seems to still be there. Let's go over to 15 squared. All right, today's blog is by Andrew. It says straightforward as we expect from Vulcan. A slightly unusual feature is there are no hyphenated or multi-word answers. Okay, didn't strike me as unusual. Well, there you go. I don't think I had any issues with the across. Again, I wonder if someone will question the homophone. Oh, and they point out that we have an on in the clue that isn't the one in the answer. Yeah, double definition. So then the downs, wooden, just double definition, stupid and awkward is wooden apparently. Yeah, no real Yeah, no, nothing about seven. Just I just didn't like it. I think, oh, May blossom, dismay. So I was sort of on the right lines. I just didn't know that May could stand for blossom. Um, I did wonder if the clue for dismay needed a question mark. Yeah. Outdoors was good. Yes, May blossom. So at least I wasn't the only one. Um, the scent of May blossom. Oh my goodness! So we get some. Um, oh, why so a little off-topic conversation here, but interesting to see that. Violin was Michelle's one of Michelle's favorites. The dreadful violin homophone. I knew someone would complain about it. There you go. All right, well, that wasn't too taxing for a Monday, although there were a few that held me up. And how many did I have to reveal? Two or three? All right, but we know it'll get worse during the week. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day.